What's up, guys? So today is going to be a relatively quick video. Just going to show you how I make battery and ground cables. So whether you're doing a audio system or building a custom car, should apply to you. This is a side that I've already done. Let's kind of show you what we're going for. I'll show you how I how I make it look like this. Completely sealed. No waters get in here, no corrosion. Should last the life of the vehicle. So starting off, just make sure you have your right length. You don't want to cut it too short. Always give yourself some extra room. In my case, I'm just doing a short ground cable off the engine block to the chassis. So relatively simple. Starting off, you're going to need your cable, obviously. This is 4-gauge welding cable that I'm using for ground. I'm using 2-gauge that is going to be running back to my battery. That will not be in this video. You're going to need some heat shrink, multiple different sizes, and also what I like to use is the tinned copper lug terminals. And the reason for the tinned copper is so you can solder these to make sure that you never get your wire pulled out. That. And then lastly, a crimping tool. This particular one I got off of Amazon. I think it was about 30 bucks, probably more now. But it has multiple different sizes for your crimps. You can go all the way up to from 0 gauge to 12 gauge, which is really nice. You also need a torch and or a soldering iron. I prefer to use a torch just because it gets the lugs hotter way quicker. Otherwise the soldering iron takes a while. So in this case I'm using a torch. The first thing you want to do is trim the sheathing off of the cable. You don't want to do too much, so I'm going to try to get it right to where the cable's going to fit into the crimp, so you don't have any extra bare cable hanging out. When you cut it, just use a razor blade. Just don't cut too deep, so you don't cut the actual wires, just the sheathing, and then just peel it off. So what I like to do is get the terminal kind of snug inside the fitting of the press before you put the wire in, because otherwise it likes to move around on you and then you can't get a good straight crimp on it. Right now it's still a little loose, but I'll tighten it up and then put the wire in and then press it together, crimp it down. So then I have my terminal in here and it's kind of snug. Put your wire in there and then kind of just hold it against your chest. Make sure the wire's seated all the way as you crimp it. If you don't put any pressure on this cable, push it in, it'll kind of squeeze it out, which you don't want to happen. Obviously you want a tight press. Just keep pushing the cable in. Normally you can pump this hydraulic crimper with one hand to a certain point. So once it gets pretty well smashed in, you can just press it all the way until it deadheads. Loosen it, obviously. We got a crimp that looks like that. So next thing, you have a vise, definitely helps. We're going to solder the actual cable to the terminal, and that way this cable will never pull out of this terminal, and also it's going to be completely waterproof. So all you do is just heat it up. Torch. Like I was saying, you can use a soldering iron, but torches are way faster. So basically Once you heat this, and now it has to be a tinned copper for you to see this. But you can see the tin kind of start to melt. And once it melts, just feed your solder into that crease right there. That's going to get down to the cable and it's going to solder it to the terminal. You don't need a lot of heat for this. If you have a torch, just put it on low. So after soldering, you can see that the crease is filled full of solder. I can get the focus. And this will be completely waterproof. And also, you won't be able to pull this cable out of the terminal now because it is completely soldered. So last thing we'll do is put heat shrink over it, and then that is all you need to do. What you do is just slide. Trying to get my camera to focus here. Just slide your heat shrink over. If you're using, I mean, it depends on what size heat shrink you have, but in my case, this is like maximum. Stretching I can do over this, but if you don't have heat shrink that's that big, you may want to just install it before you put the terminal on. But in this case, I was just able to slide it over, so it worked out fine. So once we got that on, get a heat gun. You can use the torch. I just like using heat guns because if you use a torch, you can completely burn this heat shrink. The heat gun works really well. Just heat it up. Make sure you get it all evenly heated so it shrinks completely. If you only heat one side, the other side will not shrink. So I just want to do even amount of heat. And there you go. You have a completed ground cable. In this case, like I was saying, it's just going from my engine block to the chassis of the car. This is a big enough gauge to handle the amperage of a high charging alternator, and or if your battery is in the back of the car. So there it is. And there we have the mounted ground cable. So always make sure you have a good grounding spot. In this case, it's off the power steering pump, which is bolted to the engine block, so it's going to get a good continuity. Make sure it's clean. You don't have a bunch of rust where the lug is going to be mounting, and also a bunch of paint. You don't want a bunch of paint on there. But that is a finished ground cable. Really simple to make, which is how I do it. I'm going to go ahead and install our new cable onto my car here. I'll show you how it looks. Also, before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to follow this build that I got going on, it's going to be one you won't want to miss.